Hey, Adam Savage. Matt Smith. I was a big fan of Mythbusters, and I also subbed to your YouTube channel, and I saw the video you made on the Google flashlight. And as it turns out, I too have a Firesword. One of the first questions I think people have about this light is it truly a Google flashlight, or is it just a flashlight that Google printed their name on? It's a Google flashlight. We solved that, didn't we? Seriously though, this flashlight was originally designed by Candle Power Forum's member Electrolumens, Wayne Johnson. But Google had to make some significant updates to the light in order to sanitize it for the outside world, which I'll explain, but let's jump into Adam's video.
Adam Savage here in my cave with a show and tell that is also a little bit of a tool tip. There you go. You're getting 2 for 1 today. As you can imagine, people give me stuff. It happens all the time. And a bunch of years ago, at this point, probably more than 10 years ago, I had some folks from Google come by, and we were talking about a project that we were working on, and they, knowing that they were coming to the cave, they were kind of excited about it, and they brought me a gift. And the gift was this flashlight, the RG/2.
That's actually how I got my light as well. All of the things that I'm about to tell you are based on my memory of things that happened several years ago that are based on my contact at Google's memory of things that happened several years before that. So you may want to take these things with a box of salt. I do remember his name, but I don't know if he'd want me to say it. And unfortunately, I lost all of his contact information, and so I can't ask him. At the time, he told me that these lights were given to Google employees as kind of a bonus, and that technically they weren't supposed to sell them. So he gave me this Google flashlight, and I gave him some high-powered Maglite stuff.
I have no idea how accurate this story is. I heard it from one person at Google. So please, if you're part of this project and I'm getting something wrong, my caveat is I really apologize. I'm going by memory of what I heard. But I got given this flashlight. And I got told that it is crazy bright and that it might be the brightest flashlight at that point ever built. It uses 4 giant LEDs in the front, that each of them is a cluster of 4 LEDs.
Those are Cree MCE LEDs. They are the first multi-die emitter I remember Cree making, but not the first LED that I remember coming in the Firesword. If I remember right, the first version of it had 4 Sol or Seol P7 emitters. It was called the Firesword. This one is called the Firesword 5, but I don't think that there was like a 1, 2, and a 3. I think it was just the Firesword, and then when they went to this updated version, they called it the 5.
I just want to talk about for a second how ridiculously powerful and bright this flashlight is. By the way, so this was developed as an internal project at the Google. And it never saw the light of day as a retail product for reasons that are part of the story I heard. But it's a beautiful bit of kit. Its operation is exceedingly simple. This is literally a machined chunk of anodized aluminum with a spring on the end. There's no switch in here. It's literally that when this touches the side, it becomes operable.
To operate the Firesword, basically what you get is you have momentary, where if you just press that, it comes on. Or if you want it to stay on, you screw it down all the way.
So I'm gonna get it assembled here. A little O-ring at the bottom. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so here's how bright this thing is. Wait. There we go. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, do you see that? Does my hand just disappear? Oh my God, it totally does. This thing is so bright that if I look at my hand like this, it's like There is a trace. You do not want to ever do this to a person. I mean, I hope I didn't hurt my iPhone's camera with that. This thing is insanely bright. Holy cow, is it bright. Apparently, and I have it set on its full brightness, which means that on those 4 lithium-ion batteries, it'll run for, again, this is what I heard, 9 minutes and 9 minutes total. That's how much power it's drawing to power that much light. Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a tough one. In its current state, this light has 4 LEDs in series and 4 batteries in series also, which means that we can basically compare the drive current to the battery capacity at a 1-to-1 ratio. If our battery is 2800 milliamps and our drive current is 2800 milliamps, we'd get 1 hour of runtime on high. So I thought maybe where that rumor could have come from, it could have been meaning like the heat, like the light got so hot that you could only keep it on for a 9-minute burst at a time. But even during extended runtime tests, I didn't have any problem with that. And even after those extended runtimes, I also never encountered anything that would indicate that there was a temperature sensor or a turbo timer. So, Adam, I'm gonna have to call that myth busted. Yeah. Let me know if you want me to join the team. Call me.
Apparently, during the New York blackout, Google employees were using these flashlights to light entire intersections of Manhattan in the pitch black in order to help drivers navigate through. Yeah. 2 things. I heard that the reason it never became a retail product is because it's so bright it might not be legal.
Believe it or not, that's actually almost true. There isn't a law that specifically states you can't have a flashlight over a certain number, but Google has a target on its back for lawsuits. The contact that I mentioned before, I got the feeling that he worked pretty closely with this project, and he estimated that Google spent something to the effect of like $62,000 just on attorney fees to make sure that this light was safe. During this time, the circuit board you see in the front end was added. They were direct drive previously. This limits the output current. They also had to make sure that, the batteries and the charger were UL certified. That little thing you see there that says RG2, that's actually a classification that means something like potential retinal injury or something. Probably the most hideous of those things is this right here. If you look down there, there's like this little pin there with a connector on it. And this light actually has 2 modes, but the only way to change from low mode to high mode is mechanically pull that off and move it over and connect a different set of pins with it. You see, Google can't just make things Texas safe. They have to make things safe enough even for Californians to use. So, if you want a ridiculously high-powered flashlight, including white laser flashlights, be sure to check the links in the description below. There's a comprehensive list of lights I recommend, even for my mistreated California bros. As far as how rare these lights are, I'm gonna say not super. The man I got mine from said that after they had been given out to all the employees, sometime later he was in a building or a warehouse somewhere and he found an entire pallet of them sitting in a closet. Okay, for the outside beam shots I have, this is just a regular mag light. It's ML300L. It's not a modified, it's just like one you could go get at Walmart or whatever. It's a modern one though. And then of course our Google light. I'm also taking one of the Lumencraft upgraded 5,000 lumen. And then we have the BLF GT4, which is a modern quad light. This is our Maglite ML300L, sort of a modern Maglite, much brighter than you could have got 10 years ago for sure. Now we'll do the Google flashlight. Total annihilation. Look how soft the beam is too. It's like there is a hot spot, but it's just really, really smooth. Just kind of fills everything. I love that beam shape. Now here's one of the Lumencraft upgraded mag lights. Now our modern day quad, the BLF GT4. The beam's not as perfectly shaped, but it sure is powerful. The camera's kind of blowing it out a little up close. It really is intense. It's not quite that intense, but you get, that's about how it looks.